Rania Nakazigwe, among other area residents. Now, this they shared publicly as President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni launched his campaigns at Bukalasa Agricultural College in Luweero district.
The numbers seem to have played their part. Packed to the maximum, the anxiety at Bukalasa Agricultural College ground was a show of love. NRM leaders are confident of presidential victory.
We are so sure that this time round things are going to move on well. We have a slogan of protecting the gains, but also working to consolidate what has been achieved and also tackling what hasn't been achieved.
Because when he came this side in 2020, when he was starting his trek, the blessings that we got from this place was seen in the outcome or the results. Because it has always been said that the end justifies the means. So we expect this journey, which is going to start from here in Luweero, to be a very successful one, and we expect this time round to get better results than it was the other time.
Even beneficiaries from the Jua Kali initiative of the Ministry of Gender attest to this progress.
Ng'ekibiina ekyagali awamu tusobodde okubeera nga tukuŋŋaanya akasente emitwalo 45 tugiina mu nsawo era naffe kwe tweyongereza okwekulaakulanya nga ne gavumenti bw'ereeta ebyayo era Jua Kali ebeewo okubeera nga etuddaabulula.
In sectors like welding, we have people who are doing events, we have shoemakers, we have saloons, we have carpenters. We give them equipment at no cost because this is the government program. We buy and give them. The ministry keeps monitoring them, seeing their performance.
Leaders want seeing more achievements.
Because NRM has never let Ugandans down. For the last years we have been in government, we have never let Ugandans down. And Ugandans, I want to assure you that this time round, Museveni is more than decided. Even we, the leaders, the flag bearers, we are more than decided to make sure that at least we deliver on what is expected of us.
And we're also very excited to be part of the launch of the presidential campaign today. I think NRM is united and galvanized, and we are ready to vote for the president and support him in the next coming elections.
I want to urge the people of Buganda region to support him massively. There are so many things that people are complaining about, but we believe that in these 5 years it's going to make a very big change.
President has made a pledge to the people of Greater Luweero as repayment to their support.
Where we are now, we need NRM to take off because the economy is now much bigger and ready to take off, become even bigger.
People are doing businesses, people are having farms, people are doing well financially. Peace also provides. And to me, I think the people of Luweero, if they made a mistake in 2021, this is now the time to revisit their decision of 2021.
As the 2026 presidential race heats up, President Museveni takes his campaigns to Lango sub-region, starting with Dokolo and Amolata districts on Wednesday.
Nafka Farida reporting there. And of course, as you've just watched in that story, the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has launched his campaign trail from Greater Luweero, where he has hailed the communities of the area for having offered necessary support towards the liberation of Uganda, hence ushering in a new era. Addressing the first public rally at Bukalasa Agricultural College this Tuesday evening, President Museveni said voting for NRM means voting for continuity. We have more with Robert Onyango.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has launched his presidential campaign trail from Greater Luweero on Tuesday afternoon. The campaign rally has been held at Bukalasa Agricultural College in Luweero district, and here the president was accompanied by the First Lady Jane Kataha Museveni. Even the Tuesday afternoon downpour did not stop candidate Museveni from joining the cheering grounds. Party Central Executive Committee leaders led by the first National Vice Chairperson Alhaji Moses Chigongo, the second National Vice Chairperson also Speaker of Parliament Aneta Nitamo, Calvin Echadu, Haruna Chioneka among others, graced the launch.
Ebesawa badayuganda balina okulwana tubereka twedunula mu biseera byaffe bijja mu maaso.
Luwero is historical to President Museveni and the NRM government, as such attachment is what takes Museveni back to the region to launch a political struggle.
I want to thank you on behalf of your grandparents and parents who fought with us.
Museveni recalls that it is after the price paid by the region in 1986 that a new Uganda was to begin.
When we were fighting here, Uganda was in a very bad situation. Governance had collapsed. The economy had collapsed.
From a collapsed economy to security, Museveni says the struggle has yielded fruits.
There are now 50,000 factories in Uganda.
Although government has put in place all avenues to transform Uganda, the president reiterated the need to double efforts towards eliminating corruption.
Now, in this Kisanja, therefore, we are going to Kampala on the issue of people who steal money.
On the political side, Museveni has come to it to push opposition out of Greater Luweero.
Mumaze banga mwefude bamulekwa. I remember some years ago, you donated the seat of the woman MP. You brought a girl called Nabukenya. Nabukenya tanda chakora. Awo munyankore wagambira nti eyetuze tibamukabira. The whole area is, in fact, God is merciful. So what is happening is what is done directly by the center.
Museveni has continued to agitate for free education for all in all government institutions.
Therefore, where we are going, we are going to be very bakambwe on the issue of no school charges in government schools. They have been using the pretext of not having enough teachers. We are going to recruit 50,000 additional teachers.
On the other hand, Museveni also promises that his government will sort the land-grabbing concerns affecting different parts of the country, with Luweero inclusive.
The long-term solution is for the government to, when we are ready, to get enough money and pay off the landlords, and then you people take the ownership.
In conclusion, Museveni says voting for NRM means voting for Uganda's progress and future.
So therefore, that's why we are saying Banange, support NRM so that we continue the work. Where we are now, we need NRM to take off because the economy is now much bigger and ready to take off, become even bigger.
At the tail end of the rally, the party chairman commissioned all party flag bearers from Luweero district. To other veteran party leaders from Luweero district, Museveni has offered an olive branch.
Sise Murondo is the daughter of our fighter Katerega Livingston. Bwabakiriza yinza kumutwala nanyamba mu bintu ebirala.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
The Alliance for National Transformation Party presidential candidate, General retired Muntu has kicked off his campaign trail in Kawempe and Kisenyi, Kampala Central, as Uganda gears up for the 2026 general elections. General Muntu promised to introduce efficient bus systems and promote non-motorized transport options and promote qualitative and good governance in the country.
We have come here to launch the campaign.
The Alliance for National Transformation Party presidential candidate, General retired Muntu, has officially commenced presidential campaign for the 2026 general elections at Kawempe Muslim Playgrounds in Kawempe Division.
Katonda bw'abayagadde namwe ne mukkiriza nze ne mumpa akalulu mubanga temungezesa kubanga experience njirina.
A program where we do not have to export our young people to be sold for kidneys and hearts and whatever in a dry land in the Middle East. A program where they will be productive here.
At Kawempe, Muntu's campaign focused on national unity, inclusive development and a peaceful transition of power.
Abakulembeze abesimbu abakkiriza mu bwerufu abanakozesa sente ezo ziveeyo tusasule amabanja agatuli ku bulago gaggwe wakole n'ebintu ebirala okulaba nti eggwanga liyimuka ne limuka na mu Uganda yenna. They have to choose. Life is about choice. You make the right choice, you get good fruits out of the choices you make. You make the wrong choices, you groan. There are not ways about that. They have to make the choices.
A seasoned leader with military background and politics, Muntu promises to bring about real change in Uganda.
Omukozi wa gavumenti afune sente ezimusaanira, omulunzi n'omulimi asoole okwewola mu banka ez'ebyenkulaakulana ku interest rates oba amagoba amasaamusaamu ate ng'agenda okusasula okumala ebbanga ddene emyaka 25 3. Ekyo kisoboka nga kuliko abantu abatanyenyebwa na sente, abatanyenyebwa na bitiibwa. Tuli wano banyabo ne bassebo.
His claims experience a former army commander to tackle corruption, congestion in the city, efficient bus systems head on.
That means reorganization. That means reconstruction. And also other aspects of mass transit. We have to establish light rail. The government cannot go into running those. For buses, private sector players have to be the ones to invest. The government cannot go into running buses. But for buses, they're already roads. You don't have to expand them. You have to ensure that they're also those dedicated lanes that I've already talked about.
General Mugisha Muntu's campaign trail continued in the afternoon as he largely support in Kisenyi Kampala Central. His message emphasized qualitative and good governance, promising a better future for Ugandans.
Katonda bw'abayagadde namwe ne mukkiriza nze ne mumpa akalulu mubanga temungezesa kubanga experience njirina. Ate buli muntu angoberera n'alaba omukulu gwange ateeka okuba nga amaze okumanya nti esente tezinyeenya tezintamiiza, ebitiibwa tebinyeenya tebintamiiza.
His next campaign will be in Mitoma on Thursday and Lubirizi, respectively, as he joins 7 other candidates in the race, including incumbent President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, and Nandala Mafabi. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
Thanks, Haruna, for that story. Now, the National Unity Platform NUP party presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has traversed Buyende and Kamuli districts canvassing support to the country's highest office. He promised to serve the country diligently, as we hear in this story.
awulirize ensonga zaffe zetuwa kati meya ye yatuvaamu yayingira abasajja bali enze njagala byendagala bamuwa sente bamukangakanga babala kwita mu bungi omudimu wayipaali wano tumulina wano alimugalugambalu ekiswe kisambagaire kyakyo ona ebizibu ebiri bakona ebituuma ona ebituuma kyakulanya emigamu bonna kyova yakuwele mukaseera kano yayyo okubakakasa ni pulezidenti yeka akasobola okufuga uganda eno n'atugenda
Now, police are concerned about processions carried out by the NUP presidential candidate in public places during his campaign rallies. Police spokesperson Chitume Rusoke says the processions are likely to disrupt traffic and pose dangers to members of the public. And with that in mind, moving forward, commanders have been directed to curtail any processions.
Police have issued a warning to political party candidates currently canvassing for votes nationwide to comply with traffic regulations. This follows a reported incident where 5 people, including motorcycle riders, were injured along the Kalaji-Kayunga road.
The initial investigations show and tell that there was reckless riding and driving as the cause of the accident.
Police have directed commanders to stop processions that might disrupt traffic and businesses.
So when you are prevented, don't ask why. This one, a number plate is concealed. People are sitting on top of. Now this is dangerous driving.
Obstruction of roads using campaign materials and changing venues is prohibited.
The field reports we are getting is that today we again almost had altercations between police and NUP because of an attempt to change venues impromptu. This is the road. Some individuals have chosen to particularly bring the posters in the middle. Now that's provocation. That is not politics.
While every presidential candidate was given police officers to ensure their safety, these officers are not supposed to enforce anything beyond their jurisdiction.
But the security officers who are supposed to ensure that the campaign process the campaign regulations are followed are territorial commanders, and it is also well enshrined in our security plan and operation orders.
Police have also displayed footage captured on cameras showing errant use of public spaces, warning that all involved parties will be charged. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Is more than, I think, around 9.
Thank you, Kawa, for that story there. Now, as Uganda gears up for political atmosphere, politicians have been urged to not use scandalous statements that provoke their opponents or the other party. This was during the National Dialogue on Elections organized by the Uganda National Human Rights Commission held here in Kampala.
And had a number of the legal...
The chairperson Uganda Human Rights Commission, Mariam Wangadia, says for the country to achieve peaceful elections, there must be peaceful campaigns from both politicians and participants.
It is unfairness in the course of the electoral period, both during, before and after the elections. We call for respect for each other. We call for avoidance of defamatory, scandalous and false statements about competitors. we call for peace for everyone, and we want to remind all stakeholders and the people of Uganda that the rule of law does not disappear during elections.
And Ugandan citizens are expected to participate fully in all the activities of the elections where they are required to participate. One of the requirements of all citizens of Uganda is to make sure that they are peaceful in their conduct and participation in the electoral process. Number two, Ugandans are expected and required to be law-abiding, to follow the laws of elections, but also to follow the laws that govern a good conduct in the country. Number three, Ugandans are required and expected to treat each other with respect when there are elections, because elections are not a do-or-die affair.
Julius Muchunguzi, the spokesperson at the Electoral Commission, says that any Ugandan dissatisfied with process in the Electoral Commission can file a petition.
No, to be dissatisfied and to complain is normal. Even in a home, there are disagreements. Even in a family, there are disagreements. Even in a school, there are disagreements. To imagine that you have an election where all the people are saying yes, 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 is to expect angels. But on this earth, there are no angels. There are human beings who get angry, who make mistakes, but the real issue is when mistakes are done, how are they resolved? So it is true, there are people who may be satisfied with any process of elections. The electoral laws provide that if anybody has a complaint arising out of any process in elections, they are liberted to petition the Electoral Commission or even to go to court and open a case regarding that element of it.
However, it was noted that over the election years, the numbers of Ugandan intellectuals that vote have gone down since the year 1996.
I think it started probably around 2016. Not even much before, because when you look at the statistics of level of participation in 1996, participation among the educated has been declining. And in my view, there could be two explanations to that. One, they know the truth. They know that the people's vote maybe doesn't matter, and it's very unfortunate. Two, it could be that the elections have been vulgarized, and people think they are not interested. The elites are not interested in participating in a vulgarized game.
The National Dialogue on Elections converged government agencies, security personnel, academia, civil society, and religious leaders. Rebecca Nantongo, UBC News.
Somebody will help us.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia.
Then you can buy the smartphone, maybe I can be done now. MTN can buy the super mustard rompia. Then you can buy the smartphone, maybe I can be done now.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN.
MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Nations, one destination. The Consulate General of Uganda in Mombasa presents the 4th Uganda-Kenya Coast Tourism Conference and Exhibition, a celebration of the intermarriage of tourism between Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, and Kenya, the Pride of Africa. Discover Uganda's adventure, from gorilla trekking and whitewater rafting to Kenya's rich wildlife and world-famous beaches. Delegates from Uganda will enjoy an exclusive fam trip to Kenyan coast from the 22nd to the 26th of October. Even tee off at the golf tournament at Vipingo Ridge on the 25th October, followed by the conference on the 27th to the 28th of October at Ocean Beach Resort and Spa in Malindi. Register today on our website www.thetourismconference.org. Join us and be part of the future where Uganda meets Kenya and Africa shines brighter.
Ochikoze mwana. Shop is stocked, customers ready. Now it's time for takeoff. So offer them more. Become a Wendy agent today and offer mobile money top-ups, customer service support, utility payments, water, power, pay TV. You're nah. Turn your shop into a Wendy agent hub and commissions on every tap and easy access to loans.
That's right. More foot traffic, more sales, more profit, paid instantly. Register free. Call 0800 217 200 or WhatsApp 0707 993 930.
Wendy Wanaoli.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV, and a warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Now, Kampala Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago wants Kampala Capital City Authority technical team to finance the KCCA plan of constructing markets and implement the presidential directive of having 2 markets per division as priority in improving the business environment in the city. He was speaking during the launch of the Kampala Capital City Strategic Plan financial year 2025-2026 and 2029-2030.
Kampala Capital City Authority has unveiled a 5-year strategic plan, a service delivery standards and clients charter, which statutory instruments are aligned to the National Development Plan 4 and the government's 10-fold growth strategy.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7.
That will be the measure of success. The cleaner streets, the safer transport, inclusive public spaces, predictable services, and equitable access to opportunities.
Accordingly, KCCA underperformed in previous strategic plan, achieving only 35% of its planned results, with 7% not being assessed. The Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago attributes this to the program-based planning and budgeting approach and underfunding of the entity.
This animal called the PBS, personally I'm tired of it. It's inimical to budgeting, it's inimical to progressive planning. It's really bothering us. This PBS business needs a serious revision.
Through the new strategy, KCCA seeks to reduce average travel time, increase the proportion of paved road network, reduce flooding and construct drainage black spots.
Government to finance our program of constructing the markets. Now we are making a target of a commitment, 10,000 workspaces. It's the reason we should construct this campaign. The president promised us 2 markets in each and every division. Up to now, that presidential directive has not been implemented.
So it seems the target of increasing the non-tax revenue from 114 billion to 155 billion in the next 5 years will not be achieved because KCCA messed up the revenue streams.
This decommissioning of utilities shouldn't even have been a commitment here in the wake of the disaster we suffered. We would be done with this. Now we are phasing it into the next planning period and repurposing of utilities. And then operationalization of the new waste treatment facility at Ruyala, 230 acres. We have created another disaster there.
The goal is to transform Kampala into a planned, inclusive and resilient city to enhance the city's economic growth and strengthen the oversight system.
When we talk about strengthening the oversight and governance function, you are aware that beginning of this financial year we devolved functions to divisions. And as an authority, we will do more of oversight, monitoring and inspection to see that these divisions are functioning.
So it means sustainable urbanization will need substantial productivity as it offers immense opportunities.
Opportunities from urbanization in Uganda are undermined by the following: unplanned urbanization, inadequate and dilapidated urban transport.
The strategic plan will be financed with 11.9 trillion shillings from the municipal and project bonds. I'm Nafka Farida in Kampala.
Now, the World Bank wants the government of Uganda to minimize use of supplementary budgets to ensure budget credibility. This call was made during the release of the 25th edition of the Uganda Economic Update, which focuses on expanding fiscal space through stronger domestic revenue mobilization and more efficient public spending.
In the light of recent cuts in the overseas development assistance, the bank notes that raising domestic revenues has become even more critical for Uganda. It also stresses the need to strengthen fiscal outcomes on both the revenue and expenditure sides.
As we highlight in this update, Uganda's current tax to GDP ratio remains stubbornly low at about 13%, and that's below the regional average of about 16% and the government's own target of 18%. Obviously, this gap limits the government's capacity to invest in health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, and social protection, and undermines the country's resilience to shocks.
The World Bank's provisional estimates point to lack of progress on fiscal consolidation, with financial year 25 fiscal deficit almost 2% of GDP higher than what was budgeted.
Uganda spends about 28% of its tax revenue for interest payments alone. Looking ahead, slow reforms, limited job creation, climate vulnerabilities, and external shocks could undermine further progress if decisive actions are not taken to strengthen revenue, improve spending efficiency, and build resilience for the longer and medium term.
By working together, we can ensure that reforms in revenue mobilization and expenditure efficiency translate into tangible improvements in service delivery. Today's discussion is an opportunity to reflect together on how to best achieve these policy reforms.
According to the latest IMF World Bank debt sustainability analysis, Uganda continues to face moderate risk of external and overall public debt distress as debt to GDP ratio reaches 53% of GDP in the financial year 2025. Government says this is a matter it is addressing.
The economic update highlights risks related to public debt, especially the debt service costs. Government takes this issue seriously. The financial year 2026-27 budget strategy outlines measures for mobilizing financing while maintaining debt sustainability. We're not going to borrow at any cost. We're going to borrow at a good cost and invest in highly productive areas. And this includes, number one, enhancing reliance on innovative low-cost financing, climate grants to buy out some of the financing requirements in that area, concessional windows, Islamic finance, diaspora instruments.
The report further raises concerns on recurring expenditures which continue to consume a large share of the national budget, often at the expense of investments critical for driving long-term growth. Charlotte Amuge for UBC.
To the medical world, where 3 medical personnel working with a Sunset Consult Clinic situated in Mulago have been charged and remanded to Luzira prisons on charges of manslaughter and conspiracy to commit a felony. The 3 and others still at large are accused of allegedly causing the death of one Rita Nansubuga when they negligently carried out a cesarean operation in unsuitable premises and by unprofessional personnel. We have more in this story.
The past 5 years in Uganda have seen
It's alleged that a one-liter Nansubuga, aged 37 years, went through a cesarean operation at Sunset Consultant Clinic situated in Mulago. Although her baby survived, she didn't make it back to life following the operation. A relative to the deceased reported the case to the police and State House Health Monitoring Unit, who arrested 3 suspects. The arrested suspects include Dr. Kadaga Henry Francis, a gynecologist, Chowanika Joel, the proprietor of Sunset Consultant Clinic in Mulago, and Buhungo Henry Doctor at Sunset Clinic, who were arraigned before Magistrate Lona Dikaizi. They were charged with manslaughter and conspiracy to commit a felony. They all pleaded not guilty.
The particulars of the offence state that the real on the 4th of September 2025 at Sunset Clinic in Kampala City willfully and unlawfully conspired to commit a felony through which negligently conducted a cesarean section.
Have you understood the charge, Mr. Chowanika Joel? Yes. Is it true? Have you the plea of not guilty on count number 2? Mr. Budugu Hassan, have you understood the charge?
The deceased Rita Nansubuga, formerly nursing officer in Dubai, had checked in at Sunset Consultant Clinic in Mulago for an antenatal routine visit, but was rather convinced to undergo cesarean section at the facility, yet it lacked professional personnel and equipment to provide adequate medical care.
Bangamba n'omwana we yasayidinga wano kugenda kulongoosa mwana naye ate yali amaze okufa. Omwana wange yabadde andabirira andekedde abaana 3 n'ekirala yabadde taata wange yabadde maama wange.
Prosecution informed court that inquiries are still ongoing and asked court for more time. Court has also issued criminal summons against Ahmed Rutaya Caleb, a businessman still at large, for connecting the deceased Rita Nansubuga at the clinic. The 3 medical personnel have been remanded to Rosita Government Prison until October 8th for bail application. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Very sad incident there. Now, often service commissions across the country are highly criticized over corruption, with claims that some officials demand money in exchange for government jobs. In an engagement involving chairpersons, human resource officers of district service commissions, the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Local Government, Benjamin Kumumanya, noted that various solutions, including the installation of cameras in commissioners' offices, will be very vital.
We are here to share ideas because you are the people in the field.
In a meeting held in Kampala, chairpersons and human resource officers of service commissions from different districts shared challenges they encounter in their line of duty.
I don't know at what level we shall resolve these issues of non-access or not joining the HCM system, because many people are still affected. That is salary issues, including myself.
We are looking at a situation where this commission wants to recruit teachers, and then they sit down and decide to say, we are technical enough in this area. Why can't we eliminate the technical officer when it comes to shortlisting, because we know what it takes.
Those in hard-to-reach areas decried the absence of qualified teachers, attributing it to salary disparities.
Right now, in Kabarmayo district, a laboratory technician has taken the commission to court. And I think he took us to court because we did not shortlist him in the last advert, which took place in December 2024.
Like Kalangala, it's not easy to get the best officers in districts because of those they had to reach and had to serve.
However, the Permanent Secretary Minister of Local Government, Benjamin Kumumanya, advised them to strictly follow the laws that govern their work.
That we don't want to hear the issue of saying that the chairman influenced them, because the chairmen are barred under Section 9 of the Local Government Act, under Section 13, subsection 2, that they must abide by the laws. Even councils are barred under Section 9 and Section 32, that they must follow the laws.
He further emphasized that installing cameras in commission offices will be key in the fight against corruption.
That for every advert, they must first put a disclaimer against corruption. And in this disclaimer, they must explain that giving money, soliciting money, is an illegal activity and should be reported to relevant officers.
The engagement is timely and will yield positive results towards the country's social and economic transformation. Rebecca Nantongo for UBC News.
Reports will help us, which I mean.
The government and civil society organizations in Uganda are making efforts to mend their relations as they strive to serve the public. The stakeholders call for harmonized approaches to service delivery, evidence-based advocacy and optimum regulation by government. Wadulo Mark Arnold reports.
The past 5 years in Uganda have seen civil society operations destabilized, attributed to strict regulation from government and dwindling donor financing.
Resources from major bilateral donors are also decreasing, as now they are pushing away resources from development to defense, because they have to protect their own borders. We're also seeing many of the bilateral donors becoming a bit more inward-looking, and that brings us little and little resources coming to the sector.
Civil society organizations have increasingly turned to local resource mobilization to remain relevant and fulfill their mandates. However, they accuse government of imposing stringent regulations that limit their operations, particularly pointing to the dissolution of the National Bureau for Non-Governmental Organizations as an independent entity and its mainstreaming into the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
The law does not change the functions of the NGO Bureau. The functions are still the same. It's only a structural arrangement to show that the NGO Bureau is part of government. And the government role is to regulate.
The executive director of the National Planning Authority, Dr. Joseph Muvawala, challenged CSOs to undertake evidence-based advocacy, curate a centralized operations data portal with government that supports successful public service to Ugandan citizens.
Many a time I attend meetings and people are presenting subjective policies, not well-founded in evidence. It is going to be critical for us to survive as CSOs to have evidence-based policy alternatives.
The number of registered civil society organizations in Uganda is fluid, but the National NGO Bureau's data shows a sharp decline, with 5,021 registered NGOs operating by August 2023, down from a high of 14,000 in 2019. This decrease is largely due to the closure of many CSOs, which has impacted Uganda's economy. Wadulo Arnold Mark, UBC News in Kampala.
We'll now take yet another short break, but when we return, we'll be looking at the latest in business. To stay with us.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay.
natera nga nyingiro banafa ba MTN wanji MTN walalo MTN gamba to get the power to win njagalo ofune lyanyi okuwangula ogenda kuwangula ota ngenda kubanga obukadde 10 buli wiki wanji ngenda kubanga kwasa obukadde 10 buli wiki ku simu ye nyinyi kyabonka kimu kyokka line ya MTN bana beka buli ogenda okusasula ekintu kyonna ogenda okusasula njakolese momo obulira buli ogenda okusasula ngenda kyosasula kyonna kozesa momo oyinza okubanga ngenda kwewola kasente kozesa momo wanji ogenda kuinvestinga kozesa momo abula MTN we jamani nekuwa obukadde 10 buli wiki wala kastelio bimala bwepa wentandika nengamba kyekiriwo wanje nenkwata ku masimu nengamba halo walirudawa tenze tirinyi halo walirudawa zendi gulu halo walirudawa ndi mutukula halo oliwa ndi mwanange ndi wano mu office ntudde nyiga ma computer nenkuta awa namwe kasita nabenesi okuberanga mwana wote koze ebyo namanga epeyinze ebolowinze investinze ngekozesa momo. Remember to dial *165# or use the Momo app to borrow, to pay, to invest, and you could stand a chance to win 10 million weekly.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Welcome back from that break. Let's have a look now at the latest in business. Zambia, China and Tanzania have signed the Tanzania-Zambia Railway Tazara revitalization project agreements after over 1.5 years of negotiations. The revitalization project will cost $1.4 billion, of which the initial investment will be $1.1 billion and $238 million will be reinvestments. We have more in this story.
Tanzania, Zambia and China have signed a $1.4 billion financing agreement to modernize the 1,860 kilometers Tanzania-Zambia Railway Tazara. Building on the Memorandum of Understanding concluded in September 2024, the agreement covers comprehensive infrastructure upgrades, the rehabilitation of workshops, and the procurement of 34 locomotives, 16 passenger coaches, and 760 freight wagons.
It is about giving Zambia, a land-linked country, immense opportunity for its economy to be able indeed to thrive.
The revitalization of Tazara is expected to strengthen regional connectivity, boost cross-border trade and lower transport costs.
This is not just about repairing a railway line. It is about building a modern, integrated logistic chain that can serve the entire SADC region, reducing dependency on southern routes and unlocking new economic potential for our countries.
As a strategic backbone of the southern route of the Central Corridor, the rehabilitation of the Tazara infrastructure will complement ongoing investments in the standard gauge railway and position the Central Corridor as the competitive and sustainable route of choice.
And this will benefit not only our two countries and the region, but our peoples as well. The benefits of a well-developed transport corridor are numerous, but these benefits are not automatically realized. They require sustained and deliberate effort, strong commitment, and collaborative partnerships. By working together, embracing innovation, and prioritizing sustainability, we can build transport corridors that are not just efficient, but also resilient, equitable, and environmentally sound.
Dennis Igor for UBC.
Plascon Uganda has rolled out the 14th edition of its flagship Paint and Win promotion, an annual celebration that combines customer rewards with nationwide community impact. The campaign, which runs from October to December, promises bigger prizes, more winners, and a stronger focus on corporate social responsibility. Sudat Kaye reports.
This year, customers will share 3 billion shillings of prizes worth of motorcycles, cash, and other life-changing items, with every ticket guaranteed to win.
It's going to be two-way. So there are some winners that we'll still invite for the weekly draws, where when those people come, they will be able to share 3 million shillings or win themselves a brand new motorbike. And then during the course of the promotion, as Mr. Santosh has mentioned, we will be traveling to those different towns and we'll be conducting draws and live activations in those towns. So someone in Kampala, someone in Fort Portal, someone in Arua has an opportunity to win either in the regional draws or from the national draw.
Here is the revised version without mentioning corporate social responsibility.
So we have partnerships with religious institutions, cultural institutions, education and health. In fact, today we are, I'm just signing for 3 churches. So 3 churches paint is being sorted today. So it's a continuous thing, but very specifically during the promotion, we also make it a point to do CSR activity very specific during that promotion, apart from all the CSR we do throughout the year. So this year we have increased the number to total 10 basically buildings, which 5 will be educational and 5 will be for the health. And then 3 are being done right now, but I don't consider it as part of the promotion thing. I consider it more as our normal CSR that we do on a day-to-day basis.
Plascon refurbishes 10 schools and health centers, improving classrooms, facilities, and supporting local communities.
Green production is at the core of our operations. We are actually the anchors of green industrialization when it comes to the paint industry in Uganda. Early this year, we got recognition by the National Environment Management Authority. We got that award as the paint company that has stood out at environmental conservation because of our state-of-the-art waste management treatment facility that we have. And this very month we are closing, we also got recognition from the Ministry of Trade.
Paint and Win, a celebration of loyalty, a boost to livelihoods, and a commitment to sustainability. Sudat Kai, UBC News.
And I can see our very own Amon Ngabo there also sharing the prize money there. Thank you, Kay, for that story. Now, Uganda Communications Commission has rolled out a new campaign to empower border riders with digital skills and financial inclusion tools. The initiative, Bera Ku Digital, enhances safety, improves efficiency, and integrates riders into the digital economy.
The Beraku Digital Project, launched in Kampala, will train more than 3,000 border riders from Kampala and Wakiso districts. Uganda Communications Commission says the initiative promotes cashless transactions, reduces crime, and creates a digital trail of transactions, making the transport sector safer and transparent.
To teach them how to get into the digital economy by especially utilizing the smartphone, because we say the smartphone, you can actually do lots of things, but not only that, but how do you protect yourselves when you're online? How do we use the smartphones to, for example, navigate Google Maps or online mapping?
In the event of the unfortunate, maybe his wallet falls, or in case he's pulling a hanky from his pocket and his money falls, or even in a situation whereby the passenger gives him money more than of a bigger denomination, more than the money he has in his pocket, then he has to have this struggle of where to find change. With digitalization and cashless transactions, that gets eliminated.
This digital system will enable authorities track and apprehend law offenders. Deputy Traffic Commander for Kampala Metropolitan, Justin Opos, says the initiative will empower riders with digital literacy.
A cycle that is operating on a digital platform, by the time he's accepting a request from a passenger, he is aware of the details of this passenger, of where he's picking the passenger from, who the passenger is, and where he's taking the passenger to.
We will be coming door to door on your stages, on your districts, to train you about this application.
The campaign is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Information and National Guidance, UCC, and Uganda Police Force. Mary Namkose, UBC News, Kampala.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Sports news now, and we look at soccer, where the race to the 2026 FIFA World Cup is heating up, and the Ghana Cranes are back in the spotlight. Head coach Paul Put has unveiled his squad for the two decisive qualifiers, with some familiar faces returning to the fold.
Uganda Cranes head coach Paul Put has recalled US-based midfielder Bobo Spiarhanga of Auckland Roads and Alan Oiroth of New England Revolution. The pair, who missed the last outing against Mozambique and Somalia, are expected to inject creativity and attacking balance into the team's midfield. Put has also made tough decisions, leaving out Joe Mutakwa, Elvis Bomono, Karim Watambara, Patrick Jonah Kakande and John Paul Dembe from his 26-man squad.
We will travel on Sunday night at 2 in the morning. The first training will be placed at the 6th, and we will be with 13 players at that moment. Then there will be players, the 6th will be arriving, but they cannot enjoy the training, and they have to do recuperation. On the 7th, we will have 20 players who can train or able to train. The others also will be arriving after, and will do recuperation. So the day before the game, we will be normally completed, but then we still have a problem with the 4 players who will be arriving the 7th late in the afternoon.
Uganda sits second in Group G with 15 points, for behind leaders Algeria, and level with Mozambique with just 2 matches remaining. The Cranes must deliver strong performances if they're to keep hopes alive of a historic first ever World Cup appearance. Only group winners qualify automatically, while the best 4 runners-up advance to the playoff stage for a shot at the Inter-Confederation playoffs. Ngabo Amon, reporting for UBC TV.
And that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Senyamo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijjanangoma, wishing you a blessed night, but also remember that our second and final edition of the night comes your way at 10 p.m.